it's Margie with the Asking Spot. Got two projects for you this week. They're both indoor projects, which is cool, literally and figuratively. Unfortunately, though, I have learned the hard way that my ability to film detailed stuff with poor lighting,
They suck.
It's horrible too.
yeah, not that good. But there will be some jumping back outside trying to get better lighting, and hopefully it'll be enough that you can go, oh, hey, I can do that better than she did and save something from getting into a landfill.
Stop that.
Here's the first project. Now, here's a project I wished I thought of back when my mom passed away years and years ago. We donated all of her clothes to, I think, Salvation Army just right away. I wish we had kept just a shirt or two that really reminded us of her, because we could have done this project with it. But even if you didn't use it as sort of a memento of someone you loved, you could also do this just to very easily, very cost effectively change up how your motif is, whatever your style is, just by simply using a shirt that you got from a thrift store. This is a great way to upcycle. Now, I will caution though, you can't really do it with the smaller ones. It does have to be like, this is a large, and I love the pattern. I just think it's a lot of fun. Men's shirts work exceptionally well for this project too. I happen to have some old flat pillows, so I can get away with using a woman's shirt for this. Footage issues. Okay, so here's basically what happened. You take the shirt that you have found that you want to go ahead and make into a pillowcase, you button it all the way down, then you turn it inside out, and you place the pillow inside of it, and you call it a day.
You wish.
No, kidding. What you do then is, if you're lucky, if the pillow's wide enough, you'll be able to use its side seams of the shirt to just be the side as it would be, and then you just have to sew down either side. Most newer pillows or pillows you have with your couches will probably be the ones that fit perfectly in this. As it happened in my case, the pillow was a little bit flat, so I had to sew all four sides, but straight line sewing, it was not a big deal. Then you turn it inside right by unbuttoning it. It is the simplest thing. Well, what do you think? This is it. I went back and re-sewed it a little bit tighter. I probably could be even tighter still. It can now sit as is, showing off its lovely floral pattern, or I can show off its button motif. It depends a lot on the shirt you pick. The thing I love about this is you could change it up a lot, like monthly if you wanted to.
Right.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen here. But I might do it seasonally. I might just do it twice a year, have the summer and spring months in the floral and do something for the winter, or just have something for Christmas. Maybe a little upcycling of those ugly sweaters. A lot of possibilities with this one. So, thinking of the fabric and the use of pillows, and then starting to watch Magnificent Century. I don't know if you've heard of it. It is a Turkish soap opera drama that is but I digress. So watching that and seeing the women in their embroider made me realize, I've watched Pride and Prejudice. So here are the basics, and I will say this, I'm not that good at it. I just enjoy doing it. I'm going to have in the description below links to some videos where you can actually watch the proper way to do stitches, because I'm really new at this. I will say this, check this out. That is my mother-in-law's embroidery from way back in the day. That was like some sort of course they had to take. And, well, yeah, she was brilliant. But I'm not. So this was the first one I made. And basically what it was is I tried embroidery in those little kits and stuff, but those were boring to me because you were following what somebody else had set out. So I wanted to do it freehand, so that's what I did. And it's amazing. It's pretty easy. You just draw a picture. I drew with like this one, I drew just a flower because that's what everybody does. And I thought, well, bees like flowers. So I slapped a bee on it. And then embroidery is just kind of coloring in the lines. Here are a few other tips though for how embroidery works. Embroidery basics. Let's talk thread. Now, they're not all created equally. Doesn't mean you have to go out and get the most expensive. No. But what you do have to be careful of is friendship bracelet thread. Looks a lot like embroidery thread, but they're not the same. Friendship bracelet is sort of just twisted rope together, and if you try to separate them, they won't work. You really have to get the embroidery thread. This is not an easy thing to film. Tiny, tiny things here. Also, another quick tip number 2, they have embroidery thread scissors, which are usually really pretty, and someday when I find one at an estate sale, I'm gonna snap it right out. But in a pinch, works perfectly well. It's just nail clippers. The scissors, yeah, that's what I've been using. All right, so you got your 3 strands, and you need embroidery needles. This one is, again, it's something that can show up in a sewing kit sometimes at an estate sale or at your charity shop. If they've got like a little craft area, you might want to check it out, or check out the links below. I'll have links to where you can get these because I did have to go out and buy these. But embroidery thread needles, they're just a little bit wider on the top, which makes it easier to thread. Now from this point on, I'm going to be using some readers. I just can't see that well anymore. Sadness.
And because you're getting old.
Just give a little bit extra here, and that's it. And what I'm going to do is stop it just a smidge from where it's ending, like a fingertip or 2. See? You're just going to hold it down, nothing else, because about 5 of these stitches will hold it in place. There, now once it's held in place, you can start doing some regular, you don't have to worry so much about it. The cool thing about embroidery is it's really forgiving. If you don't like what your stitch went to or how it was going in there, you can pull it back out. You can unthread it this way, carefully bringing it back to where you started, and you can re-stitch whatever it is you want to stitch. What do you do when you have completed it?
It doesn't look right.
Okay, yeah, it's not done, but you get the idea when it is done. What would you do? Well, some folks like to go ahead and just cut the edges off and then hang it up, and it's art.
This is
Art.
art it is.
Yeah, not for me. But I do like it, so I thought, well, what if I made, because of this round shape, I thought, well, what if I made an ornament?
Hey, now there's an idea.
On to sewing them. What you're going to do is you're going to put your pretty sides to pretty sides, and abstract sides to abstract sides on the outside. You want to go ahead and get the ribbon you create, which is just create a loop, tie a knot on it, and then make sure you have it so it's centered. I did make the mistake one time of not checking that it was centered, so then the loop was off to here. Did not look pretty. Had to undo it and redo it. So double check that, line it up, put it in, and then pin it in place so that doesn't move around. As for where to start sewing, start at the bottom, sew all the way around the rim till you get to just about, what is this, a finger, well, a couple fingers width distance separation down here. You get the idea. Leave this open so that you can turn it back inside right, and you can also fill it with some stuffing. I used the rest of the pillow that I'd used on an earlier project for stuffed animals. Dun, 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 link below. You can check out those. I mean, all of these are really super easy sewing projects because I'm not that good at sewing. But anyway, then you hand sew the bottom, and what do you know? You've got, well, these. Well, that's gonna wrap it up. Oh wait, who's this? This is our newest family pack member. You might remember we had our other dog who sadly passed away. We still though have my favorite crafter out there. She still loves running around. Next week my plan is to do some videos on a couple Halloween decor ideas ahead. So please click subscribe, you know, catch the video next week. And also I'm starting to do a shorts project, which is after this sweet doggy, which is called Bayou Life. It's a YouTube Shorts. I hope you check that out as well. I'm gonna one of our kids, is off in college and really wants to see as much of the dog as possible. So I'm just trying to film it, and why not? Thanks again though for watching the Asking Spot. Bloopers are next. Some of the stitches I was doing are actually existing stitches and they have names. I didn't know that. Sure enough, embroidery is kind of fun. Okay, maybe not fun that way. But I digress. But watching that, I saw women doing embroidery, and then I remembered, some of my other favorites, Pride and Prejudice, Little Women. They're all doing. Those birds are having fun. Shirts and things. On to sewing them. I don't have anything. I started watching